Okay, so what we're looking at today is a summary of fighting anthracite mine fires from 1950 to 1978. And an anthracite mine fire is just anthracite coal catching on fire. Anthracite coal is a harder, more cleaner burning fuel than most of the coal in the country. This is what's in Centralia. And so what this chart shows you is the site where the fire occurred, and these are all, I believe, in Pennsylvania, the year in which they occurred, and then the control method, what they tried to do to stop the fire, the cost of that control method, and then the results. Did it work or didn't it work? And so one of the things I want you to notice is under control method, I actually have a hyperlinked document here. And the hyperlinked document is basically if you don't know what it means to describe it to you. So here's the different methods that were used. Complete excavation, which means they dug up all the coal where the fire is. Excavation just means digging up some of it. Flushing means trying to fill the mine with water. Fly ash and sand barrier is filling in to block the fire from spreading. A fly ash barrier is the same thing. It just has fly ash only instead of sand. And fly ash, I believe, is just like ash left over from a fire. It's already burned, so it can't burn again. Partial stripping, attempt to strip some coal from the mine to prevent the spread. Stripping, again, is taking coal out of the area. Surface stripping, surface seal is basically to seal it off to limit the amount of oxygen that goes in. Trench and backfill is they dig out an area so the fire can't spread and fill it with like rocks or dirt. And a trench to water level. So they basically dig down in the ground until they reach the water that is underground. Okay, so now let's go through what I'm looking for here. So let's go to the first question here. It says methods to stopping the fire and the anthracite fire. So first we're just going to look at surface seal here, and we're going to look at how many times it was used. Okay, so surface seal, you guys can actually do Control F and put in surface seal. And it'll count the number of times it's in the document. You just have to be careful because we really only want the ones here. So it's used 1, 2, 3 times. So we're going to say it was used 3 times, and we're going to look at how many times it was successful. So again, here we've got surface seal, it's successful 1 time and unsuccessful twice. So it only worked 1 time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the percentage that is actually successful. So it's basically 1 out of 3. So I'm going to copy this formula down into here, and I'm going to put my numbers in. So times successful is 1, times used is going to be 3. And so then I'm going to take 1 divided by 3 times 100. So we can know that 1 divided by 3 is really 1/3. And we end up with 0.3333 from that part, and I multiply by 100. So this guy works 33% of the time. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. So you're going to look at excavation and see how many times it was used and how many times it was successful. And then in question 2, you're going to pick which method worked best, which has the highest percentage of success. And then for number 3, it's why don't you think they use this method all the time? And I'm going to point you to the cost tab here. The cost is important. And then the last one is how does each method work? So if we look at surface seal is going to affect the concentration. So it is going to affect the amount of oxygen that can get into the area. And so that's going to affect concentration. So how does it actually work? And here we're looking at our collision theory. Does it affect collisions, the energy of those collisions, or the orientation? And it's going to affect collisions. So this one affects collisions, and it's going to decrease the number of collisions because we're limiting the oxygen that's getting in. So that's all you need to do for this worksheet. If you need any other help, make sure to see me in the mornings or at my help center, my homework club on Thursdays at 4.